Okay. Okay, I'm back online. See, there's only one person watching me right now. Okay, wait just a few more seconds. Okay. Okay, I see people are coming back to the video. Okay. No, I will have to send it to Jill and Joanna because they are not seeing the chat right now. So just a second. Gmail. Sorry for the interruption, but sometimes these kind of things can get tricky. Okay. Okay, just a few seconds. I send the link to Jill that was connected only to the video and to the Moodle site. And then we will be back online for the rest of our webinar. So, Jill. Okay. Okay, so I'll go back to what I was telling you about this default forum. Well, okay, we already saw that the discussion works and that we can edit it before an email notification spreads out with typos in it or something like that, which is a default behavior in Moodle that can be overridden if we don't need that to be there. But I think it's interesting to know that it is available. And then we can go to the second kind of forum, which is the question and answer forum, which presents itself exactly the same way as the regular forum, with an exception. If you post something as an answer to my question there, as a reply to this first discussion thread I opened, you will only be able to see the other people replies after you have posted your own. So if other people, well, if you start replying to this simple question, what is the capital of Italy? You can do that by normally hitting reply and saying Rome, okay? And post it to the forum. So if we go back to the initial forum page, you will be able to see that there is a question here, that there is already one reply, but if you haven't replied with your own account yet, you will only be able to see that there is one reply, but you Oh, sorry, I didn't share the screen. Sorry. Okay, sorry, I will go back to what I was telling. Okay, sorry. Okay, now I'll go back to the main page. And I was talking about this Q&A forum here. So the Q&A presents itself exactly as a normal forum. And you can all see that there is one reply to my first post. But if you try and get to the reply, I will see it because I am the one who replied. But you should see a message saying you can only see these if first you post something. Okay? Let me know via the chat if you got this and try replying to see what happens. Reply works exactly the same way it works normally in the forum. Oh, well, you can see it already. Yes, because I gave you a teacher's role. If you want to see things as if you were a student, you can click here on this small arrow that is besides your name. You can see switch role to, and you can choose student, for example. And you will be able to see things as a student, so only the replies you are authorized to see and not the other ones. This says Milan, okay. Okay, so you got this, and possibly you will need some time to experiment with it, but it's just fine that you know that there is this difference. I haven't told you how to specify which kind of forum you wish to use, but I'll go there in a moment. The third type of forum I wanted to show you is the Bloglike Forum, which is actually a regular forum with the only difference that posts are already visible in the moment you open the forum. So, okay, Syrian is seeing the things in the exact way they're supposed to be. Okay, so going back to the blog-like format, the main difference is that I don't have this initial table with the list of discussion topics and the subsequent replies, but I have the title of the discussion and the text all in one page. And then I have this nice link that says read the rest of this topic if you wish to read the complete post. But if you go back to this forum page and say add a new topic, you will see what it means to have different posts. Post. I had the draft already in, so I see it already with some content. And you will also notice that the most recent post stays top of the others. So while you try it, I'll show you one more time. It's in the main course page, the blog-like format forum. And these are my two latest posts in it. Okay. And we can also have discussions. It's a regular forum. The only thing that changes is how it presents itself the moment you connect to it. Okay? Okay. Please try adding new topics from here so we can see what happens. Okay. Okay, test from Utrecht. I see you are testing it now. Okay. So again, how do I change the way the forum looks like and behaves in these three different ways, which are not the only ones, but I think they are the most important ones for our project? We can do that the moment we create the forum, or after the forum has been created. I will go to this, just another forum I created today with you. We have to turn editing on. So to refresh the page, showing the editing features. And once we have selected the forum we wish to, once we have located it, we should hit edit here, and then edit settings. So we will be presented with a page which is exactly the same we had the moment we created this forum, with the title of the forum that is the only mandatory item. And you can also see this field that is forum type. It has a select box. And you can say, okay, it's displayed in a blog-like format. It's a Q&A forum. And there's another couple of options I didn't put in the demo, but you can feel free to try them. You can have a forum when each person posts one discussion. So I can create only one line of discussion per user. So it can be, for example, used as a personal journal or something like that. And then there is the single sample discussion. So it's a forum where there is no possibility of adding multiple discussions, multiple discussion topics. It's like having a single room where everything goes. So they are simple cases. Okay. I will turn these into a well, single simple discussion and see how it plays out. Okay. Well, in this case, I don't have buttons to add other discussions. I can only reply to the main one. Okay. It's like we don't need an opening post here. We just set the topic and we are free to reply to it. Okay. Okay, I'll go quickly to other types of activities I have implemented here, and then you will be free to experiment with them in your spare time after the webinar, because then in the second part of the webinar, I will go through other advanced features we implemented in this Moodle platform specifically for ISOTIS. So another interesting and something that I think we will be using a bit in this project is the assignment activity. Assignment activities are supposed to be used for when students need to give a teacher something as a result of an offline activity, for example, like writing an essay is the most common case, but it could be creating a video, or so it's the way we can make users upload something in clear and structured way. So I will turn editing off again and switch my role to student, so I see what a student sees. Okay. So in this case, I created a sample assignment that only allows file upload. I click on it. I'm a student at this moment. I see there is still 5 days left, but this is optional. We can also say that an assignment doesn't have a deadline. I can add a comment, like I am not sure I got this. And this comment will be visible to my teachers. And then I can add my own submission. And for example, upload a file from my computer, okay? Like a PDF file. Okay. In this case, it says submitted for grading because I didn't alter any of the default options of the assignments. So it is supposed to be graded, but we can also say that the default for us in ISOTIS is that nothing has grading or something like that. And that, for example, things only need to be approved or something like that. So I have made my assignment. I delivered my assignment. Now I'll go back to my normal role as a teacher in this course, and I'll see what happened. Well, I'm sorry, I'm going too fast now, possibly. When I'm a teacher and I enter in the assignment area, I will have the possibility to see how many have participated, how many have submitted already, how many need grading. You are possibly thinking now, why is it not listing your own assignment you just uploaded? Well, that's because I was only simulating students' behavior, but I'm not actually a student in this course. So the platform won't accept an assignment from me, even if it doesn't say so. But if we add students at this point, we would be able to see their submissions here and, for example, go through them, seeing them online. Can you please confirm that you are following me and that everything is clear to this point via the chat? Because I'm seeing you as still in the chat. You've been still for some minutes now. Any feedback? Jerome says it's okay. Katarina says okay. 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 The other sample assignment I put in is an online text assignment. In this case, I'll switch back again as a student. Okay, Kate is going now, and you will see the recording. Okay, bye, Kate. So I go back to my fake student role and see what happens when I attempt to add a submission here. I see a regular text box where I can write. And this is the difference between the two types of submissions we can do. But we can also make a submission with both alternatives. So I can upload a file or write online text. Okay. So this is my submission text only. And we can use rich text. We can use different languages. This is common in all the text areas. We can use this globe icon to select a language. It creates these two landmarks, and we can, well, okay, I made a mess now. Okay. We can write something in a different language and then specify which language it is. If we don't do that, it will be normally visible to everybody. If we do this, only people that have their Moodle set to that specific language will be able to see that specific part of text. Okay. If we don't do this, submission will be bilingual. Okay. Possibly we will go back to this in a moment. I will cancel this because it's not useful as I'm not a regular student, but I hope this is clear. So this is the difference between the two main kind of assignments we can put on. And again, if we turn editing on, we can choose, if for example, we go to this sample assignment online text, we can edit its settings and say that we want submission types, online text, or file submissions, and we can have both selected. So with this change, users entering this activity, students entering this activity, and switch my role to the student role, add a submission. Okay, at this point I have online text or file submission, or both. Okay. Okay. Last thing I put on as also for demonstration purposes is a wiki. If you hit this sample wiki link, you will be able to see I created a wiki page about multilingualism, and I have put some random text in it describing what the page does. And you can see there is this tabbed menu here. All users will be able to see this menu except the administration part, I think. So I switch my role to student again and see what a student sees. Yes, the administration is gone, but the rest is there. Because wikis are supposed to be something that anybody can write on asynchronously. So if we do edits in different times, we will be able to see them. If our edits are concurrent in real time, there will be problems, but I have a solution for that I'm going to show you in a minute. If we use the regular wiki feature, we can switch to edit. Oh, well, in this case, I see that someone else is editing this page right now, so we can't make conflicting versions. But if I am a teacher, I can override the lock, so take the page away from my students and be the one who is editing it. So if anybody is now listening and trying to edit the page, please save it so we can see the edits in place. Otherwise, I will have to override you, which is not funny. We can also comment on this page. So we can, for example, say, I think this page is incomplete. Okay, it works more or less as you expect any wiki to work. So editing is open to anybody, commenting is open to anybody, and you can see the history of changes in the page. So apparently I am again the user that is editing it, even if I'm not doing that, so I will override the lock. Oh, okay, I can edit this. If I switch to edit and there is nobody else editing it, I can see some of the magic behind wiki pages. The interesting thing in the wiki is that it is multi-page. Otherwise, it would be something, I would say, not so interesting. In order to create a new page, it is very simple. I only have to come up with the name from my page. So the main page is called multilingualism, and I will create another page on multiculturalism. I will start like this. A page on multiculturalism is also available. I will save this, and I can see that I switched back to the View tab. So I see the content of the page, and there is this last line, a page on multiculturalism is also available, but this doesn't link to the actual page because it doesn't exist yet. If I go back to editing, oh, someone is editing it, but I can override it. In order to make this multiculturalism clickable, I will have to enclose it in a double square parenthesis. It's not super intuitive, I know, but this could be a kind of tutorial we can put on for teachers to learn how to do this. Or we can ignore this feature entirely. It's not mandatory. At this point, you see a page on multiculturalism is also available, the exact same thing we already had, but multiculturalism is now clickable. The fact that it is red and in italics means that the link is there, but the page it is pointing to is not yet registered. If we click on this, we have the possibility to finally create the page. And we can start putting some content about multiculturalism. Okay, this will be the core content of our new page. So at this point, we have a page titled Multiculturalism. We have its content. We can go back to the map of our wiki and see the list of all the pages. So if we switch back to multilingualism, that was our first page, we see now that the link pointing to multiculturalism is now available and blue, which means we can actually go there, okay? Or we can go back using these breadcrumbs here. We can go back to our sample wiki, and it will take us back to the first page, which is again multilingualism, and then navigate from there to all the other pages. Okay? Are these things clear? Can you write again in the chat if everything is okay or if you have any doubts? This is supposed to be quite basic again, but we are now moving towards some more interesting things. Okay for Julian, I see. Is the audio fine too and the video stream? Or are you still experiencing some problems? Okay. Okay, okay. Okay. Well, I will leave the personal wiki up to you. The only difference between the two wikis I put on is that the first one is collaborative, so everybody can write into it. In the personal wiki, you can consider it much more as a personal pad. So a place where everybody has its own page, and well, no, just a moment. In this case, I have one page, and every user is listed here, and me as a teacher, I can go and see if you are using the wiki and if you have some personal pages. So if you can create one random personal page, I can show it to everybody else from here. Was it clear? I mean, at this point, every user has a personal page that can be created. Okay, we will switch back to this later to check what you did in your personal wikis. Okay? Let me know through the chat if you were able to create one or to see mine. Okay, the other forums were tests, and now we are going to this next section that is called audio and video in text areas. I'll go back to turning off editing mode. And I have put here a sample forum, default forum, that has one discussion open. And I made that as impersonating the demo teacher. And you can hear the audio file. Actually, you should be able to play it directly. No. This is weird, because yesterday it looked different, but okay. Let's do this recording another piece of audio. How do you do that? In any, this works in any text area, okay? Not only in forums, but I set up this forum so you can use it for experimenting with this. So this is another audio recording. And you have these two last buttons on the text area field. This one opens up. Okay. I remember now what's the problem. I'm using a browser now that is not perfectly supported. It's Safari. But if you use Chrome or Firefox, this should work for you. Okay. So I'm now opening Firefox, and I'm gonna show you how the audio recording and audio listening work in a good browser. I tend to use Safari because it's lightweight, but it's not so standards compliant as the others. Can you please tell me via the chat if everything is again okay? If you haven't, while I open. Mhm. My microphone is going to record now because I'm already using the same microphone for the webinar, but let's see. No, it works. Okay. So you have seen how easy it is. I'll show this again. I hit this button here, not the last one, but the one on its left. I will hit start recording. Okay, now I am recording my voice live into this post. When I stop this, I only hit attach recording as a notation. I call it sample audio file, and that's it. I see it as a link here. If my browser is capable of playing audio, I will be able to listen to it directly from here. Otherwise, my browser will download the file for me and I will be able to open it in my default audio player. Okay? Can you have a try and post your voice or even your face, because it works with your webcam too, with the other button. So this one, the last one in the editor, allows you webcam recording. Let's try this out before we go further to other topics. Oh, Katarina has a problem with WebRTC. Okay, Safari is not supported if you are on a Mac computer, on an Apple computer. And Firefox and Chrome should work correctly, and even Internet Explorer if you are on Windows, but I strongly suggest you use Firefox or Chrome. Okay, I have this. Okay, let's check what should. Okay, we have Mareike and we have. Okay, I can hear Mareike, and possibly you have heard her too from my streaming. Okay, just the last one, and then. Okay. This is working correctly as expected, and well, we can also I can also show you the video feature. So possibly we can have people uploading their videos live directly from the platform without having to mess with uploading them, or they can just record or film themselves through their webcams if they have one. And so let's see what happens when I want to record the video. Sorry, I did it too fast. It's this last button here, and you can start the recording. And okay, let's see if this works. Okay, that it's recording me. Okay, I will post to the forum. Okay. Okay, so you can see it works. Okay. Okay. So you will have time to experiment with these also in the afternoon. I'm sure you are all eager to do that. So I will skip for a moment this H5P and go quickly to Etherpad, which is the same platform we have been using this morning in this shared document. If you go to this sample real-time collaborative document, a window like this should open up, and it will include default pad. And here you should already be seeing your own names taken from the Moodle platform. So if you have, if you are logged in as demo teacher, you will see demo teacher here or demo student. Okay. Exactly. And the interesting thing in Etherpad is, as I said in when you were here in Milan, is that it is a real-time collaboration software. So you can all edit this at the same time, even if this means we are conflicting. Please try this. Try writing into the pad, and you should see that things get updated as you would expect, for example, for Google Documents, but it's a completely open system, and it's all hosted on the same server of the, yes, I see you're writing now, fantastic. And this doesn't require a Google account, for example. This is completely free, and all the data stays on the same server as the Moodle platform. And yeah, exactly. You can choose where you can type, and you can also, if the coloring at one point is annoying for you because you want to finalize the document you have been writing in collaboration, you can hit this button that will clean up the document from the authorship colors, and then the next edits will wait. Okay. So to add this kind of activities, you simply have to go back to the page. Again, turn editing on, and you can add it as you would add a regular activity. So as we learned for forums or other kind of activities, you have this Etherpad Lite activity. It's the 5th one from the top. Again, you only need to provide a name. The rest is optional. And then you hit the confirmation button. At this point, your new shared pad is already available for you to write and for your users to write. So nobody has different privileges on this. Everybody can enter this, edit it, and change it as he wishes. And you now must be thinking that this is very risky because people can delete what you did and or vandalize it. The interesting thing is that people are tracked via their Moodle accounts. So their name is connected to everything they do on each single pad. And you can always use this time slider feature. So if I apply a simple edit, I add this line of text here, and this one here. At any time, I can click on this small clock icon, and I can run the history of my document and see what happened since the day it was created for the first time, who accessed it, who changed what, who applied modifications, who removed the coloring, whatever. And I can go back to every saving I have that is more or less on a word per word basis, okay? And then I can return to the pad and go back to editing it. Okay, is this clear and cool? Actually, we can do the same on the pad I shared with you today. So, for example, I'm now removing the colors, repositioning some lines, and I am adding a line here just for fun. Okay. You will notice that in this case you have some simple, very simple editing options. You just have bold text, italics text, underlined, or barred text. And you can have lists, numbered lists, for example, like this. Or you can have bullet points. And you can change the level of your bullet points list if it's multi-level. Okay? So in this Etherpad section, I will leave on, well, okay, see, Utrecht has created its own Etherpad Lite activity, which is cool. Okay. So you see, I can switch between the various pads, edit them, go back to another one, and they will stay there for me with the latest modifications always online. Okay, if you try to edit one of them, you will notice this. I can change page, the pads stay there, and they are well, available for me anytime. If you wish to work on a pad outside the platform, you can do that. You can hit this button just besides the gear, and you can have a link, a direct link to this tab, which is randomly generated. You can open up a new window, paste the link, and you will have your and accessible from here. Okay? And if you use the same computer, you will be recognized as the original author. Isn't this cool? And you can also have a contextual chat, exactly as the one we are using today for this webinar. So now time is running towards the end of this webinar. I still have some topics to cover. The largest one is possibly H5P. And I will switch back to editing off. And I will show you some other cool things. Okay? Just to tell you, the three last sections, social networking, Spacedeck, and Obscuracam, they do not require a lot of explanations from me. Social networking is just a demo of how a Moodle course can be transformed into a commentable wall, just as a Facebook page would look like, even though it's slightly different in the final results. We can put likes or like no more. We will work on the graphics for this. But in the end, it is supposed to be a place where I can post my new status update, and it goes into the stream. So you can just play with it, and I will leave this on for demonstration purpose. Then I'll go back to the webinar page. As I was saying, this is the social networking feature. Then I have Spacedeck. Spacedeck is an attempt at doing something like Padlet, but inside the platform again. The best thing I managed to create is this clickable link that doesn't work in Safari again, but only works in Firefox and in Chrome by now, but I will manage to make it work and this leads you to a basic install of an open source software called Spacedeck that will require you to sign up or log in, so it puts some problems in the privacy sector. But if you or log in as I'm doing now, I'm afraid I even forgot my password. Okay. This is still very experimental, but it will allow you to create a virtual whiteboard that is online. So you can click on whatever spot of this thing and put shapes in it, put text fields, okay, shapes that can be written in, you can write into this box. Okay. It's not exactly like Padlet. It's a good tool to have at hand for a whiteboard, if you use a whiteboard in a classroom, for example. But I'm not really satisfied with this because it's still not as well integrated as you have seen Etherpad is. My objective is to have something that I can create directly as an activity in my course and have it ready without having to subscribe to another platform or to sign up or sign in or whatever. So I'll just leave this as it is now, available for you to try this out. I will work on this in the next few weeks and try to integrate it better into Moodle. Okay? So back again to the webinar. The last thing is Obscuracam. Obscuracam is an Android app you can download from this link I have put in here. You have a description of why it was created, what its main purpose. The interesting thing is if you shot a photograph from your phone, and it's also available on the App Store for iOS. So it's Android and iOS. And if you take a photograph with it, it will automatically recognize faces in the photograph and pixelate them. Okay? So I can't make a streaming demo of this, but you can try it and possibly we can post our photos in the forums in the future. So these were the three last things, and I only left out H5P, which will be what I will be talking about in the next 15 to 30 minutes. So I assume the webinar will end at around 13:15, okay? If you have to leave, feel free to do so. You will have the recording as soon as I finish, okay? Okay, so what is H5P? H5P is an independent platform, is a software tool that was created outside Moodle, but that is designed to be easily integrated into it. So we can have it as a kind of activity we can create. So if we go back again, turning editing on for our course, and go here to the H5P section, we can hit add an activity or resource. And you will see this interactive content item that lets you create an activity, okay? But before we do so, if you're trying this in your browser, please now hit cancel and go back to the page because first, I wish to show you what I prepared as demos of things that could be already applicable to some of the things I have listened to here in Milan, okay? So for example, hit this sample interactive image link. And you will be brought to a page where you see an image taken from Google Maps of a neighborhood. It is actually the neighborhood where I live. It's my hometown. And you will see that this still image, this is a regular image taken as a screenshot from my computer. It has some spots on it. If I click on them, I see an overlay with some text describing what's present in correspondence of each hotspot. And you can see I have a title for each element, and I have a small description text that can be bold or italics or whatever. It's HTML text. So we can do as we please. We can even embed a video in here, for example, or add a link to a website. Okay. This is one of the kind of activities we can create with H5P. I created this because, if I remember correctly, in one of the proposals of activities for the ISOTIS project, there was something like mapping my neighborhoods and saying what's in there. Okay. We can also have an option to put this full screen, and you are now seeing this at its best. And this is also accessible, I mean screen reader accessible, so also for blind people, it is in some way readable, the content of each box. And so also for the text-to-speech feature we are developing in Biba, it will be possible to have the text read by Biba. And last but not least, this is all already tested to work on mobile phones and tablets. Okay, so this is touchscreen ready. Okay, do you like this? Please write something in the chat box so I don't feel alone in this webinar. Okay, I'm now going back to the H5P section, and I'm going to demonstrate another kind of resource I can create. I can, for example, annotate a video. In this case, I have a video that comes from the CARE project many of you know about. Okay. Okay. You see at the bottom of the video there is this progress bar, and it has two blue dots at 2 points, which correspond to the places where I put my annotations. The annotations can be clicked on and can have another text to be revealed. Okay. I can use videos I upload from my computer, so this answers partially the question that Jerome posted before. So I can use this to upload a video, for example, even if I don't actually annotate it. I can also add questions. For example, a question that is related to what has happened till now in the video. And it can be used as a teaching tool. I mean, we can create videos that people can watch it and then answer some questions while they're watching at them, or that can simply have some extra text like the one I have just shown you. One interesting thing related to accessibility of this video is that we can also set the playback rate. So we can make it slower if we wish to be able to get a glimpse of a specific element. The audio will be very bad at this point, but we can also make it faster. Okay? And of course, we can have it full screen. In a moment, I will show you how to do this, okay? I will just finish showing you with the third activity I set up. It's a sample memory game, also created using H5P. And Rian will probably be happy to see that I have used some materials she shared on the WP 3.4 Asana. It's a memory game. Well, I only used 4 images, but it's inspired by something that Rian shared some weeks ago. Okay? I will reset it and show you. Okay, so I have this couple of cards that do not really need to be the same. I mean, it's a memory where you can have one card saying one thing and another one saying one thing that is linked to that and not exactly the same as in the regular game, but I'm sure you are following me. Okay. Good. And I can reset this and do it many times. And I am now checking if I can take the data, like the time spent and the number of card turns, and actually record it inside Moodle as data we can collect about our users. And I will let you know when we are ready with that too. I'm working on that with the developers. So how do I create these amazing things and many more? Because actually H5P has around 20 different kind of activities we can create. I simply create for today. I didn't want to overload you with stimuli, but we can discuss this if you're curious about this. You can create an activity just adding it the way we are now used to, and go to interactive content and hit add button. Okay, you will have to provide a name for your activity. So for example, we can annotate another video. So another video annotated. You can add a description here, but it's up to you. It's not mandatory. The very important thing here, the other mandatory one, is the selection of the content type. So you can create content or upload it if you are using another H5P site, but it's not our case. We will work inside the platform. Just to be more at ease with this, in this case, you can hit this button at the top left corner and you can hide the menu, so you have more space in the screen for selecting the content type. And you can choose, for example, you can choose an interactive video. You can hit details. Oh, there's also an update available, so I will use this opportunity to update it. Hoping it doesn't take too long. This is just for maintenance. I mean, the H5P platform is constantly updated, and sometimes new features are added to each kind of content, but that shouldn't affect what was created earlier. So we will always be able to see the videos we have uploaded. Okay. It's taking longer than expected, so I will go to some demo content in the meantime. As I was saying, it is not only for commenting on videos, for putting text labels in it. You can see it is also possible where, in this case, it's exactly the same thing I showed you, but at this point it stops the video, for example, which is something optional you can do. Or you can even have multiple choice quiz inside of it. This can be useful for creating online activities, actually, not for video annotation purposes. Or you can have a question that is blocking you. So, for example, if you give an incorrect answer, your only option in this case is to go back to the beginning of the video. Okay? So it's very powerful. It's very powerful. It can do many things. Let's see how. Okay, now it's been updated. So I will use this kind of video. You see I'm back to this creation page, but now I have this part of it that shows me how to create a video, and it also has an embedded tutorial you can use to learn how to actually use this, okay? I will go quite fast. I will add a new video. I can enter a YouTube link or another URL. Actually, if I have the video uploaded somewhere else and it's online and it's accessible, I can work on that. And I don't need to re-upload it. So if, for example, I have a public link of a video that it's not on YouTube, but on a university server, for example, I can work with that. Otherwise, the best thing is to take the video in MP4 format or in WebM format. It supports only these two formats. So MP4 is a good choice. We can also upload various quality types. This is standard quality. We can upload high definition video or low definition video, and then the user will be able to switch between various types, but this is quite advanced. It's not interesting for us now. Then we can go to add interactions. It's very plain and easy. So you also have a tutorial here showing you how to do this and highlighting, well, the various buttons. But we can close it now and go and see how it works. I simply make the video start. And then if I decide that I want to mark again the fact that the kids have sit down, I hit text. And I can say, it will take the moment we are now in the video, second 5 of the video. And by default, it will add our text for 10 seconds. So it will go from 5 to 15. But we can also say we want it from 5 to 25. And the label says sitting. The text that will be available on click will say kids now sitting. Okay. We're done with this. We can move this around. And see what happens. We'll go back. And when we will reach second 5, the label will appear and stay out for 20 full seconds. Okay? And if I click on it, I will see, well, the text. Now in this editing mode, I don't see the related text, but I will be able to see it once I publish my video. Okay, Rian is leaving. Okay. And I can see if I go to second 25, the annotation is still there, and then it disappears. Okay? Well, if I wish, I can put whatever else. I mean, I can put a table, a link, or an image, or whatever. It can be let's say a single choice set. So at second 33 to second 43, I can say it needs to pause the video and it needs to be shown as a poster instead of as a button. So it will come up in front of me and it won't let me go on with the video. And the question could be, how many teachers are there? You see, this is only for demonstration purposes, so it doesn't make any sense. But 1, 2, and add answer 3. This will be my answer options. Okay. The first one I put in is the correct one. And so I can change the order, they will be presented randomly on the user screen. Okay? I will only leave one question. Okay, I'm done. And I see this as a box that I can shape as I wish. Okay. Doing this, I can now save and return to the course. When I'm done, I will see my another video annotated here as a fourth activity in my H5P section. And at this point, I can see it as a student would see it. Okay. And now I have to answer this question. I have my score, and then I can continue with the video. But even though there was no teacher actually, but okay. Okay. I hope it is understandable. Of course, you have to play a little bit with it to actually learn. I tried your sample video with the children, I guess. Ah, okay. Mareike is having a problem, but she's actually editing my same video. Mareike, are you trying to edit the sample annotated video activity? Is that right? Oh, okay. So Mareike is having some troubles in actually watching the video. Is anybody having troubles too? Because there's many ways it can go wrong. It shouldn't, because it's very standard technology. But please let me know if you can see this video with the ID 64 in the URL. Okay, works fine for the others. Okay. One last thing, I show you the addition of another activity, again from H5P. So the mechanics should be clear now. So in this case, we can create a find the hotspot game, okay? Which is similar to the first kind of activity that I showed you, so the image with the clickable hotspots, but works in a different way. So I will have to install this activity template because I don't have it already, but it takes just 1 second. And I will upload an image from my computer. Okay. And we can put, we can select an area in the image. And put our square that will be invisible to the users in just over our image. So we can cover up areas of the image and make them clickable. You will see what this means in a minute. So I'm just putting some incorrect answers in the image. So the correct one is this one, and the incorrect ones are this and this one. Okay? In this case, I have the same image I have before without the hotspots, but if I click on the areas that I marked as incorrect, I see this try again message. Imagine it was like this for every house, but when I click the right one, I get this right answer. So I can, for example, put some images and ask them which one is this particular kind of vegetable, or which one is the correct flag, and this could be done only with images and invisible overlays. Okay? So I hope you can appreciate how it's easy to do this. Of course, it's not that a teacher will sit there and learn everything in 5 minutes, but now I hope you are a bit more aware of the potential we have here in this platform. And I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry we had this breakdown at one point with the internet connection and the audio quality, but the 2 recordings will be available at the addresses you already know. And I will put all of these into the minutes of the Italian meeting, so it stays in the documentation. So if you have further questions, we can set up specific meetings with each one of you, and I can guide you through the wonders of Moodle and the various plugins I have showed you. Now I wish you a nice day, a nice week as it just began, and I hope I will see you all very soon. Okay? Thank you very much. Goodbye.